Hello everybody, and welcome back to the second video of the day. Well, today was budget day in the UK, the annual opportunity for the Chancellor to stand up and get all the publicity that the Prime Minister gets the other 364 days of the year. And today it was Rishi Sunak's moment in the sun. And Rishi has, well, the headline here is from the school of, "Is the Pope Catholic and do bears defecate in the woods?" Because it suggests that the economic recovery will take a long time, says the Chancellor. Gosh, you don't say, Rishi. Why might that be? Oops, that's why that might be. Economic growth, as you can see in the UK, was amongst the very worst of all major economies. We declined by 11.2%. So that's pretty staggering level of economic decline. However, nonetheless, that hasn't stopped Rishi from telling us today that tax or corporation tax on company profits are going to rise to 25%. I make that about so it's going from 19% to 25%, which is roughly a 30% increase in corporation tax starting in 2023. Now, to be fair to the Chancellor, he has kept the corporation tax for smaller businesses at 19%. So that's something. But nonetheless, at a time when most businesses have had a very tough time, to tell them that you're going to hike their profits by a further, their CT and their profits by a further 30% is quite a thing. And it's not just there, because you can see that he's going to use fiscal drag, which is the name given to if you freeze thresholds for tax, and you freeze it at the lower end and the top end. What it means is people move up, and then people who aren't paying tax get caught up into paying tax, and then further on up in the tax sphere, those who aren't paying the higher rate fall into paying the 40% higher rate. So what he's basically done is making sure that until 2026, by the way, after a rise this April, so for the next 5 years, he's going to capture millions of people entering income tax and moving into higher end income tax as well. So he's doing that. So that's in terms of how he's trying to capture and get more money in. But one of the reasons, of course, why he needs all of this is he's going to continue to extend the furlough, remarkably into the end of September, which is strange because I thought Boris told us that life returns to normal in mid-June. Wonder why September is the end date. And as you can see, you can see the terms and conditions of the furlough. But the furlough costs about 10 billion a month. So this is now, I think this is the third or fourth time that the furlough's been extended. And every time it's extended, we're told, well, this will be the last time. In fact, the way this one works is government, namely the taxpayer, will continue to pay 80% of employees' wages for hours that they cannot work until July, when the employer then has to put 10% in the hat, and then in August, when the employer has to put 20% in the hat. Now, we've been here before, and once we get to that point, that's tipping point. That's when the big unemployment numbers start appearing. The final bizarre thing which the Treasury is saying is that it's expecting UK economic growth in 2022 to be amongst the highest we've ever seen, and then even greater in 2023. Now, the optimism behind that is quite wondrous. And my conclusion on it is that either the government thinks that we are absolutely finishing lockdown, end of story, no more social distancing, no more mask wearing, no more restrictions on life and business in June, or it's not being straight with us. It's one of the two. The forecast makes it clear that we have to be getting back to business and normal in June, but the furlough suggests it could go on until September. And in September, or when the respiratory illnesses come back, I suggest that you might find the Chancellor once again telling us he's going to extend the furlough scheme, and that these Treasury forecasts are simply that, just forecasts.